The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all. Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.
Blessings, 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 Primetime Home Buyers family. We are live on a Monday. Yes. Let me just share it to the actual group to see if we can get some group members in. And we're going to start this live and have a great night. We're going to have a great conversation. You know what we do on Mondays? We have those conversations around real estate, economy, getting prepared for the tax lien sale, saving money, whatever you want to talk about. That's what we talk about actually on a Monday. So today we're going to talk about buy or sell. Buy or sell. That is the question today. Buy or sell. We have many people that are in different situations here. So we're going to address this topic from a multi-level point of view. And that is from a homeowner point of view, from a renter who possibly want to get into the market, as well as what we know we are, tax lien and tax deed investor point of view, to see what we can do, as well as we're going to go in later on. It's probably be a little long live, and I'm going to chop it up later on so we could break it up for individuals who want to see certain parts. But what we're going to do is after we talk about buy or sell and the options, we're going to actually talk about the options. So the options, can be conventional loan, foreclosure sales, tax lien sales, deed sales, those type of things. So we're going to talk about what those mean to you and, what is your actual different approaches. And then we're just going to give you a little sneak peek possibly into Primetime Home Buyers, the buyback team course. Okay. So as you know, I'm Lashley. I am the team lead of Primetime Home Buyers, tax lien and tax deed expert. I have been investing in tax liens and tax deeds for the last 5 years. I'm not only a teacher, but I invest myself. I love to learn. I also study law as a legal nursing consultant. In the last 6 months ago, so I have made it my business to make tax liens and tax deeds investment, as well as my educational course, my main business. Okay, so I've been giving you all my love and TLC, tender love and care to you guys, giving you all the knowledge that I can share about this process, because I want you guys to be safe. Not only safe, I want you guys to be successful, because I can't be the only one buying tax liens and deeds. We want a lot of us to get into the market, because as we know, many of us are locked out the market. You may not feel it, you may not know it, but I know you know it. Every time you go look for a place to stay and the rent is inflated, and you starting to look for a home and we have high interest rates, as well as inflated fair market values, which we talked about last week. Assessed values are going up as well, which relate to taxes going up. So it's hitting us all around the board, and we're having this conversation because we want us to talk about ways to actually combat this. We have to stay in the market. We do know that many corporations are buying up all of the properties, and that is not copacetic. Okay. Once that happens, or if that does happen, and we, the regular middle class, get wiped off the planet, and I mean otherwise not having any assets, anything that we own, that means that basically our liability is within corporations' discretion, as well as all of the tax increases that we will be facing or having to fight. I want you guys not to forget. So we talk about these things not to scare you, but we need you guys to be aware of. This conversations that we have on Mondays and Fridays is only for sophisticated people only. I ain't saying you got to be the most educated, but you have to be someone who is driven to control your future, know what's going on, make the right economic decisions. And that's why you're here. We're having these high level conversations. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about buy or sell. We're going to be reviewing a few articles. One is brought to you by Money Watch, as well as USN, as well as real estate bank rate, a few other Forbes too. So, but before we do that, the reason why we're talking about this topic, because we know a lot of individuals are literally locked out the market, meaning that if they want to today go look for a house the conventional way, is which is through lenders, because every time you talk about buying a house, it's like, okay, you got to get all your paperwork together, you got to do all of this stuff. Okay, through that method, how successful do you think you can be? Okay, and as a renter, we do know that when you're in the rental position, the discretion of the rent is to the landlord. Okay, we have some money hungry landlords that want to up the prices, talking about inflation, and then we have some that are fair, and we have some that, slumlords and all types of stuff. So renting is a roll of a dice for individuals, but then sometimes it's very good for individuals because they live a very flexible life. Because we know when we have a fixed mortgage, and it's good to have a fixed mortgage compared to a flexible rate mortgage. But when we have any type of mortgage, in my eyes and many other individuals who understand what a mortgage is and how long it lasts and how long it takes you to pay down that loan, unless you're making extra principal payments at least once or twice a month, you're going to be paying for the rest of your life with a great amount of interest rate. So in my eyes, I call that the death note, because 9 times out of 10, that note gonna be there to the day till your day you die, allegedly. Okay, if you're good, if you're better than me, you'll be paying that off real quick. Okay, so but with that goes to say, there's a lot of individuals that cannot do that, especially in the situation what happened after these last 3 years after the COVID. We're rolling out of it still. We know inflation had went to its roofs at the time. They dropped the interest rate to 0%. And us as middle class people, we really didn't feel that 0% when it came to the big lending, but the bankers and the corporations did feel that 0%. And guess what they did? They went in and bought all of the property, allegedly. They bought a good amount of the property to inflate the market, as you can see, because it was not us. As we know, the middle class and people who are low income, and middle class ain't that far from low income, allegedly. These two group of people haven't had a significant amount of pay increase. So I don't believe that they are me, we are the reason why this market has inflated. We're just the people who are receiving the repercussions of that. So with that goes to say, we have to figure out how to maneuver around this. So most recently, we talked about the inflated fair market value, which led to a lot of people having issues with their taxes going up on their property. As we listened to a few lawyers talked about last week, what did they say? Don't hesitate to challenge the taxes. Just challenge it. It can't hurt. Why not? Because at the end of the day, the tax rate is beyond what people can really afford right now. And the hike is beyond normal. We have one old lady who paid $175. I do remember, and it increased 100%, and it was $1,075 for the year. And that may not be a lot for you, but that's a lot for someone on a fixed income. But people who are in the homeowner situation, when this happens to you, not only does the interest rate, not only does the taxes go up, but the actual mortgage goes up because the taxes go up, the fair market value go up, and then in turn, the insurance for the property goes up for rebuilding. This is some of the things that we talked about. I just wanted to revisit that. As a homeowner investor, these are some of the things that you need to know about. We don't want you to just go in and just start buying property like, yeah, this is the best market ever. It's the bull market. Let me give you an example. If you go into the conventional way of lending right now, most likely you're going to get an interest rate between 5 and 6%. We're going to see that when we go into the articles of what is actually going on in the market. Now, you, me, regular middle class and low income people, we can't really afford 6% interest rate on homes that's already overvalued about $250,000 or above. The mean home in America allegedly is around $275,000. And we know mean means the medium. And that includes 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, whatever, 4 bedroom. It's ridiculous at this point. So now we're keeping all of those things in mind, and we need to ask ourselves, is this a sell or a buy market? I know I said some things that was a little bit scary, but we're going to talk about how to maneuver around some things like this because you do have options. All right, so let's get to it. Let's figure out what's going on in the economy. We're going to go to for most Americans, owning a home is now a distant dream. Now, this article was February 22nd, 2022. This is a year and a half ago. And we're going to revisit this. You know how we do. We kind of start at a timeline and move our way up. But we're going to revisit this actual topic. Well, we're going to revisit this timeline. Blessings. How you doing, Anna? Hi. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you guys. So let's get to it. We're going to revisit this actual article by MONEYWATCH that they talked about us being possibly locked out the market. Let me make sure that this is a correct video because you know sometimes they do that. They want to play something else. Hold on.
That's down from the real estate marketplace. On the heels of a hot housing market in 2021, Zillow says it expects home prices to increase 11% in 2022. That's down from the real estate marketplace company's 19.5% projection for this current year. But Zillow says it would still be one of the strongest years for the housing market since it began tracking data. Forecasters also predict there will be more than 6.3 million existing home sales in the new year. For more, we want to bring in Kunal Lunawat. He is the managing partner and co-founder of Agia Ventures, a fund focused on real estate technology. Kunal, thank you so much for joining us. What are your thoughts on this prediction? Should people be taking this at face value?
We do think that home prices are going to go up in 2022, but we think Zillow's prediction is on the higher side. My belief is that it'll be more in the 7 to 8% range, consistent with what Fannie Mae has been saying.
What are some factors that could potentially play into higher home prices next year?
Sure. So it's really two things. One, on the demand side, people being able to work from anywhere. And then more importantly, on the supply side, where you're really seeing a historic shortage in construction labor and supply chain disruptions leading to increased prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been seeing that all pandemic long. Are there certain areas in the U.S. that are expected to be more in demand than others?
Yes. The one thing we saw last year and this year was people are not restricted to where they need to work out from. So as a result, they'll go work out of warmer places. So you're really looking at the Sun Belt, which will, I think, again, see home price appreciation.
And you think those folks who move to go work temporarily, you think they may permanently move to warmer spots?
That's one of the key things that we've seen that's changed fundamentally, which is, what does it mean to buy a home? Earlier, you bought a home as a long-term asset. Now, I think that, people buy a home and view it as a short-term commodity. And what that really means is that people are moving into homes for 6 to 9 months at a time and then view it as an investment product and then move on and buy another home in another market. And that especially holds true for millennials and the Gen Z.
How else has the pandemic overall shifted home buyers' habits, and what's been the impact on sellers?
The biggest shift we've seen in terms of home buying has been, the end buyer views the home as a secondary transaction first, as opposed to the primary place of residence. And what that means is, again, especially the millennials and the Gen Z, they want to buy homes in cheaper locations to begin with, stay there maybe for a few months and then rent them out or view them as an investment product. And what that means, again, is homes not an emotional product anymore. People are buying homes purely for financial gains at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me stop right here because he said a lot of things that were very important. And one of the key things is the change of the value system and the generations that's here. And it's true. A lot of individuals, now see, I've been blaming it on just the bankers and people investing, but it's actually our mindset. The people are looking at homes as an investment, just like me and you as well. So that's increasing the viscosity of the sales of the home as well. And as he say, which is smart, because that's what I do too, is kind of start in a market that's kind of bare, not a lot going on. And as it builds up, we take and we sell. That's our mindset. I guess that's the 80 babies. He must have figured this out. I must have been listening to Lashley, because this is a smart move for people who are into the investment realm. But now that we have conventional home buyers that has the same mindset, as we know, we have to keep this in mind as well. So that's increasing the competition rate. Okay. But let's keep in mind the increased sale rate is still going up. To me, as I say, is because the people who are investing in it has a big pockets. Who has the biggest pockets right now? They said even though the increased rates were going up, the homes were still selling. Where was the money coming from? Because it wasn't coming from us. There were people, a lot of people who had PPP loans. We're going to talk about that because they're coming down on the PPP loans. Woo, people kept saying it. I'm going to pray for them. So they're coming down on the PPP loans, and some people took that money and invested in the market, used it and flipped it and those type of things. So another thing he said is that there's increased demand, but there's not an increase of people actually building the homes. And we just showed you that on another episode that we have called Uncensored Enlightenment Talk, where we show in Florida, because of the immigration issues they're having, actually the production of home has slowed down. So they have these new immigration rate laws, and what it's doing is pushing the actual work class for that state. So these type of change in policies, you have to pay attention to. Whatever you believe in, should they come, shouldn't they come, whatever it is, you are affected. These are the conversations we have, and we don't want it to be political, what you agree, what you don't agree. On this channel is just about actually thinking about our full situation and how we're going to maneuver. Okay. When she said a lot of people were moving to hot states, I think they were moving to those states because of the freedom that they had. So the migration came with policies. So if you're looking into the market, I'm saying this, the buyback team, people who are looking to buy, pay attention to what's going on in the market. Now, if you want to come in a little bit lower, you may not want to go into those markets who are really hot and a lot going on. It may seem tempting to you, but that may not be the first best approach. Okay. Now, I'm saying that because the big question is buy or sell, buy or sell. We put a lot of information was just put in that one little 4-minute broadcast. So taking those things in consideration, you want to keep in mind, what can you do as a tax lien investor, or foreclosure investor, or just a conventional homeowner. A lot of us are on restricted incomes. It's true. AI, I got to bring it up. AI, automation is taking a lot of industries out. There are people who were part of the mass migration, such as me, who want to move into or moved into another field and left that field. So that transition in itself is an income, gray area, transition into. So that in itself put a lot of people in different situations where we all have to learn how to maneuver. So now let's go on to our next article, that why you should or shouldn't sell your home in 2003. So 23. There's some factors that you want to keep in mind, not just that, but we're going to talk about the urgency. What's your urgency? What's your situation? Things that you may not be thinking about right now, but you want to keep in mind. Now, there are plenty scenarios that make selling your home necessary. Couldn't even get that out of my tongue. I do apologize. Whether it's moving across the country to be closer to family because you need to downsize, or you can't afford the mortgage payments anymore. This is what's happening to a lot of people. They're paying one amount of mortgage, fixed income, maybe no income, low income, and then they have to figure out what to do. Now, the first thing I want to say, y'all, don't wait to the last minute, because now when I look into these foreclosure homes, because we're going to talk about that tonight, because that's part 2, there's a lot of people who don't have a lot on their mortgages and they're losing their home because of bullheaded thoughts. Now, it's not easy. I'm going to say that it's not easy to just pick up and leave something that you have been attached to, especially if you have that mind frame where you like, oh, this is a family heirloom. You know, you're not thinking like me, like this is an asset and we're about to liquidate or do what we need to do, because it's called survival of the fittest, this market right now. What I'm going to see is the greatest transition to wealth happen with the people who know how to maneuver in this market. So whether it's moving because you want to be closer, you had any issues that they say, but when is your time to move is flexible. You'll likely want to try to strategize over when and how. So you want to strategize. I do apologize. What is wrong with my eyes today? And my tongue. We're going to get it together. You want to strategize over when and how you place your home on the market to find buyers. Maximize your profit and what makes it easier to buy a new home if you want to do so next. Now, this is when I want to talk to people who are thinking about selling their homes. There are people who are in situations where their mortgage is about to be behind. If it's behind, I'm going to tell you now, the best thing you can do is start mitigation. And there's a timeline where you're going to call for those mitigations that may help you extend the timeline that you're in the home. But at the end of the day, you will still have to pay the funds that's due, the back payment and everything. If you want to know a little bit more details about that, I think you should look at the foreclosure videos I have on Primetime Home Buyers. It's not just for tax deed investors and tax lien investors. It teaches you, the homeowner, some of the tactics you can use to slow down the process, because that's some of the things that we needed to know. I had to teach my team, like, hey, listen, somebody slow down the process, you know, because they like, if they're in a home and you had to do an eviction and then they're filing paperwork just before the time is about to expire, and then they petition to see a judge, want to start a payment plan, they got to put a motion in, you know, that just gives them more time. So just understanding those things, you want to be aware of your options. I'm kind of telling y'all the back door, but keep this in mind that if you're at the point that you have to sell your house, it should be before you're behind on payments. Don't be too bold. Don't be too beautiful and be like, I'm going to hold on. You know, I know God going to make it happen. God does make it happen, people, but he make it happen and tell you what to do. Okay, you got to do something. Sometimes the check come in, sometimes it don't. So the best advice is to look in these different selling methods, because there are different selling methods, and we're going to go more in detail, but there are some selling methods such as sell to rent, or sell and they're pulling the equity and they'll give you the money and give you about 3 months to rent for them, a few months to rent for them. There are organizations that does that. So if you need that information, I may share it on the buyback team, you know, group, but that's for homeowners who actually have a home loan that they want to move out, get some equity. But the market is kind of crazy, because you have to understand, if you're moving from your house and then moving to a renter's position, you're going to pay at least $400 or $300 more than what you're paying. Okay. I'm just saying it depends on what your mortgage rate is. Me, I got lucky. My mortgage rate wasn't too high. I got locked in. And what's really happening that's bringing the mortgage rate up for that particular property is actually the insurance and the taxes and all the nonsense going on. Okay. So with that goes to say, you want to keep that in mind. What's your options? You don't always have to do a quick sale and get out right now. Get out right now. No, you really don't, especially for the older ladies, older grandmas that you don't know have that option. Speak to your grandmother. Speak to the people about to lose their home. Mom, we know you're behind, about to be behind. This is all we can do. We're going to pay this month, but we're going to put the house up on the market. We're going to see if we have a buyer-friendly agreement where we allow us to stay in there for 6 more months while we get you together and do shoot. They also have some agreements for homes that you can buy back. Now, what I'm saying is, when you do that, just be expecting you ain't going to buy it back for the fair market value you thought that, that, you know, that you sold it for. If you sold it for the fair market value of $270, $270,000, and then 3 years later you want to buy it back, I don't think that company is going to sell it for the same amount. Now, I know if the fair market value decreased, yes, they will probably have to a certain extent. But if it does not, You want to keep that in mind with those options. These are people who need to pull out their equity without having to go the conventional way. So I'm giving you another way. We're talking about some ways you can save your home. Or, oh, I'm sorry, on the Instagram, it says it got a curse word. It's supposed to be should, and it got the word SHIT on the Instagram. Please laugh at me, guys. Oh my God. I'm glad I could update it afterwards. They probably like, what is she talking about? I hate when they change. You know how they do the auto correction? I know I ain't crazy. I wouldn't have put that there. Anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying our conversation tonight and really getting some insights and some ideas of how to approach your situation, because you're not the only one in this situation. There's a lot of us that's in financial different situation that we was, and we need to know how to maneuver. Especially, let's look outside of the market where you don't have, let me take this off the screen for a second. Let's look outside the market where you don't have pay stubs, where you don't have a conventional pay stub. What are you going to do? One of the first things I want to say is always file your taxes correctly and have your paperwork together. Okay, try to be as organized as possible if you're an individual or a business, because that's going to help you. You want to represent yourself well. Remember, we said credibility is your credit. You can give yourself credibility by the way you set yourself up, and that'll be able to help you. Help you may get in with a smaller lender that's going to help you put some money down for construction, do the things that you want to do with your property, okay? Or pull the equity out of your property and they feel comfortable that you're going to be able to be a renter for them for a while, or whatever may be the situation. So just keep that in mind. You don't always have to have conventional pay stub. You want to have your things in order so you can still play chess on the chessboard, okay? Now, let's just pull this back on the screen. And we're going to go back to the article. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're going to just scroll down to the article. In 2023, homeowners can expect to see a different market than they witnessed in the earlier years of the pandemic. With rapid rise in home prices, or even in 2022, depleting damage due to high interest rates. This is what we talked about. While in 2023 may see a recession, interest rates are expected to stabilize, and some buyers are expected to return to the market. So that's what I'm saying. You see how it could be kind of a contradiction where they say, yeah, the market is high, it's still selling, or that's why the rates is going up. But then in the same terms, you say buyers have moved away from the market. We are the buyers that they're talking about. We didn't move away. We were locked out. People were locked out. And that's why we have the program that we show you. And you can use the information from the program we show you, Primetime Home Buyers. Take that and learn how to just invest in deeds. You don't have to do tax liens. If you want your property right away, you can go into deeds. And then I'm going to show you something else, because they have mortgage foreclosures listed in the newspaper. Okay, we may show you that on Friday. Friday is when I go into that stuff. Okay, and they have it listed in the newspaper. So, example, they had property listed in Fulton County for $30,000 of back mortgage due on a home that was worth $250,000 for a 3-bedroom home, 2,700 square feet, which was a nice small starter house. But they're asking for $30,000 before it goes on to the actual auction for the next month, which is amazing. So if you have $30,000, which you pulled out of your equity from a home that you sold that was inflated, you may be able to take that little home, build it up, take the equity out of that, sell it again, and just make it happen. This is an example of dealing with deeds and foreclosure homes. Now, sheriff sales are different from foreclosure sales, as well from tax deed sales and tax lien sales. And we're kind of going to go into that in our next segment. But I just want you guys to know that you do have options. You do have options, even if you have to pull your money together, guys, because I know a lot of people are like, I can't save the money. There's a lot going on. And there is. And God be the glory. That's why we talked about secure your energy and maneuvering yourself correctly with your credit. And sometimes using the credit to kind of pull yourself to a different level if you can. Now, I'm not saying take a whole bunch of equity and credit out to flip homes. That's your choice. And I think people can do that if they're educated in doing that. But I don't just subscribe to tell people, just go do it, because what may happen, as I read and I pay attention to people who talk about their experiences, they buy these homes and they have liens on it, they have other issues with it, and then if you're not educated in the process, you do have people in this specialty, and I done told you, that will tell you anything to take your money. So please, guys, please educate yourself in any form of home buying that you decide to get into, even the conventional way. I want you to pay attention to the contracts. You don't want a due on as due demand on your contracts. If you ask them, like, do you have an as due demand? They're gonna be like, who told you that? You're gonna be like, Lashley. Well, no, we don't. Okay, as due demand is mean is if you miss or you have some type of issues that's under that as due clause, you can lose your home right away because they're the trustee over the title. So that's with conventional loans. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay. So if you're facing if you're on the fence about selling, you have a few choices. You can push your house up for sale to take advantage of the current low inventory, even with low demand, and I don't think it's low right now. You can wait to see how interest rates are and inflation plays out as they relate to the houses, or you can opt to stay in your current home for the foreseeable future. Now, honestly, the market is still moving. Soon as I put my properties up, all you hear the phone ring. This, that, and the third. So there are people buying, but I do think there is a lot of companies buying. And I really think that if you're going to do what you need to do is sell your property, guys, you better know negotiation skills. Like, let me give you an example. The guy hit me up today, and he was like, yeah, can I want to speak to you as soon as possible? It'd be great if you give me your number. I said, okay, well, I'll be available tomorrow at this time, but I just got an offer for this amount. I can't wait to speak to you. So the amount was more than what I actually offered. Let's play. Let's play. Like, if they want to buy the houses and inflate the market, let them inflate it. All I'm saying is that you need to understand what's going to happen. I showed one of my students this week. We were just looking at a property taxes. And then between the years of 2010 and 2016, 17, the taxes was very low compared to before 2010 and 2008. So between the 2007 2008, it went up. And I was like, you remember what happened there? She was like, huh? No, it was the 2008 housing crisis. Now what we're going to do is, I said, now look at the next section. In this section where we're looking over the last 3 years, how consistently the interest rate has been going up and the tax has been going up, and it's been a lot. And she was like, oh wow. I said, so just looking at this is just looking at numbers. This is not even a chart. If you're looking at this chart, it's literally like this. No, it's like this. It's going up, right? What do you think is going to happen? Just by the flow, it's going to crash. It's going to come. Now, I'm not saying that everything's going to go butt kaput. I'm not sure, because we got all this thing going on with China and Russia. So that plays a part with our currency, the value of our currency, trade. That's a whole nother subject. But as we talk about our housing market and what is stabilizing it. So what I think what we have to do to stabilize our market is get into it. So this is some of the things they would say. Here are 3 reasons you shouldn't sell your home in 2023, along with 3 reasons it's a good idea to make a jump. And this is according to U.S. News. Wait to sell a house if you bought or refinanced in the last couple of years. Yes, because you're gonna have to refinance and it's gonna be more, okay? And if you just bought it, it's gonna value as more. It's gonna be just too much. But if you're in a financial bind and it's valuing more, you can pull some of your equity out, but you will still suffer the increase of interest rates. Okay. Wait to sell. You're worried about affording your next purchase. Yes, that is something that you need to pay attention to. If you're going in the conventional way, I think you need to be very, very afraid, because as of right now, yeah, my mother's like, so if you're gonna buy another house, how you gonna do that without pay stubs? I said, girl, I don't want that. I said, I don't want that. I said, you see how high the interest rate and how much everything inflated? Why would I? I said, no, 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 no. We're gonna wait till this crash. Okay? We're gonna wait till this crash just a little bit. So sorry, that's just the truth behind it. So now let's get hold on. Let me just make sure everything is going smooth. All right, so now the next one is selling in 2023. The high interest rate doesn't scare you. You're not afraid of it, do you? I ain't afraid of it because I ain't gonna deal with it. I'm not going to the bankers. I'm not giving them no nothing. And that's what we're gonna talk about. Buyback team. We got some options, okay? Selling in 2023, you're okay waiting for the right buyer. Now, give or take, that's what they're saying. Sometimes they're saying it's high demand, sometimes it's low. As I say, you have to pick your market. What markets are high? Out here in Atlanta, the market is high. You know, you based on the growth of the town, you want to pay attention to what may possibly happen, or the city. Lastly, you need to move. Selling, that's just maybe just your option. Now, if you just need to move because of personal situation, financial situations, my best thing is to strategize. Please, please, please strategize. And that's what we're doing here today. We're teaching you how to think and strategize, because there's more than just, okay, we're going to sell a house. Okay. And then you're like, oh my God, the interest rates is too much. The payments is too much. All of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's think about it right now. This is another article. Should I sell my house now or wait? I think we're going to get just a little bit into it, and then we're going to talk about our different options. Okay, in detail. I ain't gonna just push the buyback team, get into the tax deed sale. Liens, because it's different. It depends on what you are looking to do, what you're comfortable with. What's your money? What is your financial investments that you have? I'm never going to tell you, oh, just do it because I teach the course. No, I want you to take the course because of the learning in it. Once you learn the steps of doing and researching and doing your due diligence, you'll be able to purchase it any which way and ask the effective questions to make sure that you're safe. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm preventative here. So should I sell my house now or wait? This is brought to you by Bankrate. Hold on, bankrate.com. Now, Lace, this is June. So we're moving up close. This is June. This is June 5th. Yay, we finally got to this month. Okay. So if you're considering selling your home, it is critical to understand the current real estate market dynamics. The volatile that demand the market and pandemic related pressure is starting to ease, but that does not mean that there aren't still challenges. For one thing, mortgage rates remain stubbornly high at 6.9. I thought it was 5 to 6. That's almost 7%. Oh, let's not talk about credit card rates. You want to talk about credit cards? Do you know they're up to 25% of credit cards? Ooh, that's the craziest thing. You might as well don't get no credit cards. Cash and go right now. Okay. 6.9% as of the end of May. That reality makes mortgage payment increase expensive and drives more than a few potential buyers to the sideline. Certainly not dealing if you're on the selling side of the equation. If you're about to sell, you thinking like, damn, should I sell because I'm locked into a good mortgage right now? Now, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You have to be ready to deal with what you're going to deal with and make some good options. I'm going to talk about that. As well, April's median home price saw the third consecutive month of year-over-year decline. Okay, yes, what was it? According to the National Association of Realtors, S&P home price, what it is, released May 30, showing that housing prices has increased. So wait, let's read that again. You see, as well, April median prices saw a consecutive month of the year of year-over-year decline. So they said it was a year-over-year, because I just got to see that. According to the National Association of Realtors, S&P, okay, so released on May now. We're in May, 2 months later, because I said, hold up. It sounds like I'm saying two things in one sentence. Released May 30th show that housing prices has increased for 2 consecutive months. So from April to May, it was like boop, boop, boop. Okay. And in 7-month stretch of decline. So in the 7-month stretch of decline, what was happening in those 7 months in the year at that time, y'all? Think about it. What was happening? We were being flooded in with PPP money and things like that, right? Right? We were also being given incentive, not us, but the big people, 0% interest rate. I don't know who had low interest rates at that time, really, but the people who were able to buy in that market. But regardless of prices trend, with housing inventory still at very low 2.9 month supply, the nation overall is still much a seller market. It's a seller market. It's really not a buyer market right now. Okay. So it's a seller market, but it's not a buyer market when it comes to conventional loans. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about it? So now we're going to switch the conversation. We've been live for about 38 minutes talking about basically what's going on in the economy. If anybody has any like ideas or any questions, anything they want to add on to some things that they have heard about what's going on in the economy, I think this is the best time to do so. What does this say? This is housing market prediction for 2023. When will home prices be affordable again? Okay. So let's talk about this before we talk about some options. When will they? This is all predictions. We can't say that this is really going to happen, but we want to kind of figure it out. So, despite being well into the spring home buying season, the housing market is still experiencing a winter chill. The nation's average 30-year fixed mortgage rate increased by 18 base points in May. While pending home sales were flat and existing home sales sagged in April, a base point in 0.01% point. That's the point system in the mortgage thing, okay? So through the median existing home sale price engaged lower year over year for a third consecutive month. And that's what they was talking about up to April. We knew something changed. A promising sign for home shoppers. Expert doesn't expect sustainability. Nationwide prices decline anytime soon. So they're saying they're not going to see any nationwide decline anytime soon. But I'm not sure because there's a lot going on. Who they going to sell these houses to? Okay, when they have people coming in through the routes that we're talking about, I don't think that this is totally true. They're not considering the full picture. Home prices remain stubbornly elevated. Affordable challenge for many, especially first-time home buyers. It is, and this is what we talked about. And then we have, like I said, people right now, they're looking to basically create generational wealth. Selling real estate has been the thing, but I think a lot of people have been kind of like misgauging the market as well and not understanding it. So we're going to make sure we understand it before we do anything. Though home prices are not as high as record prices in 2023, data suggests that where home prices drop or climb this year remains heavily region specific. So as we say, it depends on the region, on where you're at, where that depends on who want to be there, who don't want to be there. The economy could crash anytime in any place, especially depending on politics. Now, let's go into part 2. We've been going in. Before we go in, we're going to get a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to be talking about all of the different methods that we actually can use to invest, not just conventional loan methods. Here we go.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.
All right. I was here taking my notes to make sure that I could really, just focus in on the things that I want to talk to you about. So we're going to just talk about 4 conventional ways of getting into the market, not just tax liens and tax deeds. I'm going to talk about that towards the end, but some interesting other ways. Now, this week I was doing a one-on-one consultation with a young lady who was learning about the tax liens and tax deed process. And I'm just giving you a little bit, but she actually found a property that she found interested that was related to her family. This property was located in the local newspaper, presented by a local law firms that represent the mortgage company that is looking for the proceeds that are due on the mortgage. Now, if you don't know, now you know. Mortgage companies don't always go in and foreclose and just sell the whole house. What you think happened is that, oh, you foreclosed on me, they're selling the house for $256,000. No, that's not usually what happens. Usually they put the home up for the amount that you owe them, because legally that's what they can do. At that time, depending on the state law, if that home is not sold, then they can sell it to another third party, be it auction.com, be it a firm that buys bank houses, like, houses like that. They can do that and they can make a good portion of their money back. Just like in the tax lien and tax deed realm, they have a specific amount that they have to start at. So if you're ever looking in a local newspaper at the announcements, I want you to pay attention to that section. You may see homes that saying this home will be auctioned off at this particular time at the sheriff sale. Okay. Now, a sheriff sale is different from the foreclosure sale. The sheriff is conducting transactions for the lawyers. Okay, so just know the difference. Now, this can be interchangeable depending on what state you're in. So you want to ask specifically when you go to or read in the paper or go to the agency, say, hey, this is a foreclosure sale or a sheriff sale. And they're going to say it's a sheriff sale. So you know that the sheriff sale can host, and depends on different states. Let's be educated about this. They sell RVs, jewelry, pocket knives, all types of stuff you can get at the sheriff's sale, not just real property. These are things that's being seized for collateral by personal entities that are able to do this. They move forward because they may have a non-judicial or judicial foreclosure process in their state, and they have went through it. Okay, they have went through that process. So do you have an option? Yes. I'll like just give an example. So now you have your home. Your home is worth $350,000. You probably have $110,000 left on it. So let me write that down before I sound all crazy. 350, 110. So you got 240 in equity. Now you say, hey, and the reason why I say 240 in equity, because at the end of the day, if you sell it for 350, you got to pay what you have left off. And you're gonna be like, hey, can I buy a home, another home? Because basically, right now, my mortgage rate is at $1,600 a month. For this 350, because of all the interest rates and everything, I know that my mortgage rate is going to go up to $2,100. Let's say that, whatever, you're upset because if you don't know how to fight back about what goes in that escrow, they're going to put anything in there. Okay, I done told y'all about me having to get on my mortgage company for trying to take too much to put in the escrow. I had to report them to the Federal Trade Commission, and they fixed it. And my mortgage went down about $90. Okay, this is what happens. So if you don't know, and then it goes up to $2,100. Okay, you're saying to yourself, all right, I got $240,000 in equity. What can I do with this? Because the market is inflated. Either I'm going to have to downsize and take all of this money and put it in, or I can find a new method. So one of the methods can be the sheriff's sale. But with anything, you have to do your research. I'm going to stress that to the dough, to the tutti frutti and back. Due diligence, even when you're going to buy a property in the regular conventional way, which is through the lender. Sometimes lenders sell you homes, and those homes on swap properties. Okay? Yes. So don't think it just happened with the tax lien and tax deed process, because the nurse who told me that story, I know she ain't buy it through the deed process. She was paying the mortgage. Okay? She just had to handle it. Okay. So with that goes to say, you want to do your due diligence. We talk about due diligence on Friday, how to do the pre-title search, looking for zoning issues, all types of stuff, liens. You can do that. You can do that on your potential investment. Now, the next approach. So we talked about the sheriff's sale. Now let's move up to the foreclosure sale. You're like, okay, sheriff's sale, foreclosure sale. Now the foreclosure happens where if, for instance, that lender didn't go through the sheriff. They like, I'm not going to do the conventional way. I have the right already to sell this property. You can see we don't do sheriff sale. We go straight to private lender. We're going to Zillow. You know, sometimes it's not only auction.com out there, it's Zillow out there in certain counties that's selling foreclosed homes. Okay. So any type of big companies like that, they do have on-site auctions. You can learn about that, but they have a lot of online auctions of foreclosed auction sales. So those foreclosed auction sales will not start at the typical amount of the same amount as the sheriff's sale. Both sales, you're going to have to bid. I'm just going to tell you that. It's bidding. You're going to have to bid. But the premium at the sheriff's sale is actually just like when you're coming for the deed. What's due, what the penalties is, or whatever they paid for, and then that's what you're going to start at. The foreclosure sale is much different. It's kind of like the deed sale, but they decide to take a bigger amount of the fair market value and start it at that price plus whatever is due. So let's say that the person had the $110,000 due and they reneged, okay? And the fair market value was $350,000. They'd probably say 10% of the fair market value, which is 3,500, right? No, yeah, 3,500. No, 35,000. 35,000. 10% of 350 is 35,000 plus what they have due. So that's $145,000 will be the starting bidding amount for the property that's valuing $350,000. Does that make sense? This is your second option where you're coming a little bit higher. It's not just a little bit. You're going to come in at a greater portion of the fair market value. So you want to come in at that foreclosure sale, which is a foreclosure sale, and let's say with a minimum amount of 155,000, because they're going to start the bid at 145, most likely. If it's they're calculating that 10% market value added on what's due, because they're going to make some money back. Okay, that's what you get the difference. So if you ever go to a tax lien sale and you see these different petitions up, that's where they are, the different positions. So we talked about two. Now let's talk about a tax lien sale or a tax deed sale. I always have to break this down to the family because we have people who come into the tax lien around like, I want to buy a house. I want to live in the house right now. I want it today. But that's not how the tax lien sale works. The tax lien sale is not for emergency use. I have to stress that for you. It is an investment an investment avenue with the great potential to own the house as far as the tax lien certificate investment process. Okay. So you have two avenues where you'll come in and say, hey, I want to just try this process. Let me see if I can get some residual income based on what's the interest and penalty amount depending on your investment. And that's what we talk about on Fridays. Okay. You go into the tax lien sale and say, hey, what's due on the taxes? The taxes due is $5,000. They're going to ask for that for a minimum amount, which is known as a premium bidding. And you're going to move forward and premium bid against someone else, depending if the state offer a premium bidding, because sometimes they have different types of bidding. But if there's a general premium bidding state, you'll start there at the $5,000 and go up in increments as whatever. Don't let them tell you got to be a certain amount of increment. So now you and that person could go in a bidding war. And let's say you went up to $15,000. Another person said, I'm about to stop. Now you won that tax lien certificate for $15,000. Let's figure this out. Once foremost, you need to know the price value of the home possibly you're going to invest in. So if you did $15,000, I hope that was in your budget, because if the property taxes was about $7,000, I'm going to come around with at least $16,000 to win that bid. I'm just going to keep it real. You want to come in hot. You want to come in like whoop, whoop, come in hot. Quiet like a sheep, but we roaring like a lion. Buyback team. We look nice. We look like we're nice, but we are. Okay. So with that goes to say you come in with a good amount. I'm not saying always double the amount of what's the taxes due. It depends on what you may think the demand may be, but just keep that in mind, because some tax lien auctions are very competitive, especially like Clayton County, Fulton County, Gwinnett County in Georgia. Very competitive. Okay. But you go to Kuwait County, that's not as competitive. Bibb is a little bit more competitive, but not like the other three tax lien counties that I talked about. So you want to keep that in mind. Tax lien investors, if you're going to come in that way, it's not instant gratification. Okay. but it's going to teach you a skill that will basically serve you your whole life, especially if you're going to be an effective and efficient investor in real estate, not just tax liens, I mean, any real estate. Because you want to know how to do your research on the law, the state, what's the foreclosure processes, how to put people on notification. Once you know all of that, how to look up to see, do your little soft title search, what we call it, seeing if we got any liens, if there's any issues with the reading of the deeds, consecutiveness, all that good stuff. We teach you on the buyback team. We're going to show you tonight, show you how to maneuver around the course. But with that goes to say, once you learn that, those skills from being a tax lien investor is going to serve you a great purpose. I don't know why is okay. So now I'm looking at it the wrong way. So now your next option. So we talked about foreclosure sale versus the sheriff. So we start with the sheriff sale. We went into foreclosure sale. We went into a tax lien sale. Now we're going to talk about a tax deed sale. The tax deed sale is similar to the mortgage sale, which is known as kind of mortgage sale / sheriff sale. We're going to say mortgage sale. Those are headed by lawyers like pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the foreclosure sale, which can be conducted by the sheriff as well, because they're getting paid by everybody. It's going to be on the county steps. That's why you may get confused, because it'll be the same person who hosting it different days or whatever. So we talked about that. And now we're going to talk about the deed. The deed sale is pretty similar to like a foreclosure sale. What end up happening with the deed sale is that in a deed state, they can sometimes take a percentage of the fair market value and start the bid at that amount. That is kind of common with the deed sale. You're going to come in a little bit more than the amount as you start with just the basic taxes. Or you have conventional deed states that basically, because they are 4 or 5 years behind on tax lien, the taxes, the homeowner, it matures into a levy, and the county takes over and creates a deed, and usually get that person out of there, but sometimes they don't, and then they sell it as a deed. So the deed can happen in only deed states. Well, not only deed states, because Florida is a hybrid state. They do both. Okay. But these states choose to go with that route. They get a little bit more kickback for their buck, but the process took them a little bit longer to get there. So you as an investor, if you are interested in the deed state, this is what you want to keep in mind, that you're going to pay all of those taxes that's due, the cost of the sale, the cost to put the person on notice, the cost to transfer the deed over, whatever may be, they need you to do to foreclose, because sometimes they want you to just put it's not conventional foreclosure. Sometimes they want you to put the person on notice after you receive the deed to possess the home. Okay. You don't always gain possession just because you have interest in the property. When we talk about law, we talked about integral law. Possession is different from interest. Okay. They actually possess it inside, but you have interest, okay? And you may be the owner. Just like the banks, they have interest, but they don't possess the property, so they have to go through the conventional way, and that's what you will have to do with the deed state, okay? So did that make sense? Did that make sense, guys? I know I've been breaking down a lot. Y'all know once I start talking, I'm going to start talking, flowing off my head like, because this is what I do. This is what I do. But I wanted you guys to understand what type of environment you're in right now. Is it a buy or sell market for you? It's not just a buy or sell market for everyone. You need to critique your particular situation. What's your mindset? What you're willing to do, and how active you're willing to be in your pursuit for real estate. You want to go the conventional way, the lender's way. You're going to expect a little bit more interest. Paying for the rest of your life. Do what you got to do. I'm not mad at you, but you also can go these different routes and choose how to enter the market, which would allow you to have a little bit more equity to deal with when you're into the home. Okay. Because the only way something is assets for you, if it actually is bringing in income or have some equity in it, that basically the plus is better than the negative. You see what I'm saying? So just because you have a home don't mean it's an asset. It is an asset to live in because you need a roof over your head. okay? But it's not an asset when it comes to on paper, and you put down what you got, what you owe, this, that, and the third, and you end up like, wait, I'm worth negative 29.99, and I got all of this right here, just all of this. That's something that we need to think about, okay? So now, let's get into it, guys. If you're interested, I'm going to be showing a little bit more tonight because I'm going to end up breaking this down. Y'all know how I do. If I could show everything on one list, then I'm going to show it tonight. So now we're going to move on. And this is for the buyback team or people who are interested in being educated in the tax lien or tax deed process, okay? Instagram, I'm going to log off right now, and I'm going to fix the title because Instagram title is literally a curse word. It's literally a curse word. Okay. All right. So I appreciate you guys being with us tonight. We will see you on Friday. While we handle all of that, we're going to give you a word from our sponsors. Oh.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.
All right. I am back. I drink me some agua. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers, the buyback team. For you guys who have not seen this, this is actually the Primetime Home Buyers actual platform. So we're going to put it up on the screen for you guys, and we're going to start maneuvering around so you guys can get a taste of how things work, okay? So we're going to log in. If you're a buyback team member, this will be the first thing that you do. We want to show you that this is actually a great platform that has a lot of features. What happened? Oh, no. Wait a second. Why is not letting me log right on in? Let me see. That's just because I don't remember the code. Stressing me out. As soon as I said I wanted to do it. Hold on, guys. Soon as I said I was about to do it, then it want to give me a problem. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I think that's why. Let me see some booze. All right. Got to give me 1 second. I'm going to have to take things off the screen. Give me a second. I'll take myself.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.
back. Basically, we're gonna just give you a short rundown real quick. I apologize, girl, guys, my login, and I'm not about to go through it because we've been on a live for a little while. So let's just add the screen back, and where we're gonna just be showing you how to maneuver the website. Some people do get confused, but we don't want you to be confused. We want to show you how to get into the platform and just to start maneuvering around. All right, here we go. So, welcome to Primetime Home Buyers Platform. On this platform, you can learn how to invest in tax liens and tax deeds. This is actually set up like an online school for you. Okay. So, here, this is your home page. You will find a lot of information about the actual what we offer. And we also offer international, just a video. It's like a 45-minute seminar for international students for free. They just sign up. Sign up consists of you signing in first, just like as we were supposed to do, but I can't find my login code. I can't find my login code. Let's see. It may not gonna let me do it. Let me see. This is one of my. Let me see if I can get in. Okay. All right. So I signed in here in this account, and I think this is just a membership account. So here, if you are just generally watching the website, you want to find out a little bit more, we'll go to join us, and it's going to break down some of your choice planning. The join us bring you right here to this page called plans and course access. We have a few different things to offer, which is the international conference, which is 45-minute video, which is free. This is letting you know what your options is as international students, a realistic view of investing in America and what you should expect to have and what position you have to be in it to participate. We have also yearly membership of $19.99. With this yearly membership, you're going to get prime access to bonus video content. Some of the things that we share here live with you, but we also have bonus content that is members only. We have a member only blog, referral, and exclusive information related to debt elimination. Now, exclusive information, content in the field of real estate as well. Just as what you've seen us do today, we talk about different things to get your mindset there and get you ready. The actual membership is for people who are already well acclimated to the tax lien and tax deed process. They just want to be part of a team and actually have some access to videos and topics that they may have not had access to before. We also have an exclusive member only section. Let me just show you right here where you guys let me see. Oh, this membership plan don't have it. When I come back, we're going to show you about the member only section because it's literally set up like Facebook. Okay. So these are the price plans that we have. I want you guys to be aware of it, okay? Because you have different options. So the tax lien basics, this is for the people who need to know what is a tax lien. How do I get involved? What are my different options? Can I do it from home? How do I get started? How do I do the research from home? When you're finished with this $79 investment, you will be able to go to the tax lien auction and invest. Now, what I can say is that if you want to find out information to doing your due diligence, the full course is what we recommend. In the full course, we go over types of bidding, keys to researching the property, parcel and GIS review, hands-on review, videos, PowerPoints as well. All you need to know about property title search, locate and review the deed. We teach you how to review the deed. We also going to be having a bonus section where we kind of talk about contracts, okay? Because they kind of tell you how I won my lawsuit against the county in Maryland, okay? We got a bonus section in here called wills, estates, and owners court cases. This is where you can find out all you need to know about the owner to see if they have any civil cases, criminal cases that mutated onto their private property, because it can happen. Understanding the redemption process, very important. And this program breaks it down in a way that you're going to be able to apply this to every single state in the United States. This also comes with the detailed seminar, tax deed state by state seminar. So you will have access to the actual section where we have all the state seminars broken down, at least 45 minutes to an hour. We do have some of those videos located on YouTube, but not all of them. So this is what you have access to. The member section does have access to all the state breakdown as well. So with this full membership, full program, you will get free membership. Obviously, connection to the study hall, links and need to knows for members only, making it easy for your research. You also get 2 free 30-minute consultations with me. It can be put into one consultation for an hour one-on-one, and one free wealth building consultation just for you to get started. Like, hey, I just got into this today. I just need to know kind of like, how do I start? What do we look at? Like, and then that will be your first consultation. We also have a short but very comprehensive review of OTC tax lien seminars, which is over the counter method. This consists of auction versus over the counter intro concepts to understand what is a tax lien investment versus over the counter tax lien investment, over the counter tax lien sale, live talk through seminar, as well as review of Baltimore, Maryland over the counter tax lien sale. Okay, $45. That's a great seminar. Got a lot of information in there. Now, this is another very, very comprehensive seminar that we give, which is the Georgia Tax Lien Seminar, which everything here is accessible your own time. You literally can go in and get to it when you want to, be on point. But I do ask for you guys to be consistent, because that's the most important thing when you're actually doing tax liens and tax deeds. It's the most important thing. Okay. So moving forward. So in the Georgia tax lien, we break down primetime goes to Clayton County. So we go there to the live auction. That's their interviews, Clayton County live interview. It's a 2-part. Hints and tips to invest in Georgia tax liens. Looking for tax liens in Georgia. We give you examples how to go about doing it. Georgia summer investment. We talk about our investments extravaganza, how we went to different counties, looked at properties, all types of stuff. Review of GA tax lien list, as well as locating the tax lien auction application process. Henry County, Georgia property review. This is another focused comprehension, and the only reason why we want you to see these things, because it actually gives you a chance to do like a case study. Okay. We're also going to be adding some case studies to our actual platform, so get ready for that. So with this seminar, we make sure that you have access to study hall, links and needs to knows, and a buyback team free membership, because we know Georgia is a very high volume state. We want you guys to get as much information as possible without having to do the full course. Now, we also have 3 more package deals for you, which is the GIS and land survey. These are people who are already tax lien, tax deeds, foreclosure investors. Y'all the experts already, but everyone don't know everything. You know, we always love to learn and critique our knowledge. So here, if you need any help learning how to maneuver and look at GIS mapping, land surveys, this is the best seminar for you. It got a lot of, and all of these points, videos, and PowerPoints, they're at least 45 minutes or so. They're going to keep you busy. Just know any seminar we give is usually equivalent of more than 2.5 hours or plus, most 4 hours or plus. Okay. We want you guys to learn as much as possible. So the GIS land survey seminar consists of parcel map cross reference, how to use GIS map introduction, GIS parcel intro review, live online demo, how to use NACO as a county reviewer, what is easements, land issues, how to handle them, understanding zoning laws, tax lien deed investors. Okay, this is for tax liens and deed investors. You need to know zoning laws. Challenging zoning, you may have to do that. So we enter into that zone as well. Property liens and land survey comprehensive review. Okay, and that's just a breakdown of a rewind, because we want you guys to have this down pat. Our last 2 seminars, one is the foreclosure seminar. We have many individuals that went on and just did their thing, moved on. Okay, and now they need to foreclose and they don't know what to do. Or maybe they do and they just want to know some of the missing key elements that they are kind of just missing in their process. So we teach you how to look for foreclosure laws and examples of foreclosure process, generally coming from the actual county all the way to the Treasury office to when it gets to your hand, and then to your hand and what you need to do to bring it to the homeowner to seize the property. Okay. So we also go into introductory to foreclosure process, the foreclosure process for tax lien TLCs and deed investors, because it's a little different, slightly different. Okay. Judicial versus non-judicial foreclosure process. The ABSs are supposed to be the ABCs of foreclosure process. Foreclosure keys to homeowner occupied home. This is something we have to keep in consideration. Bonus foreclosure process, Maryland review. So we give a detailed Maryland review because they have a very detailed process. They're very particular about the way they do things for some apparent reason. And that's why I'm glad I'm able to show you that as a case study. Bonus, how to handle land dispute issues. This is just giving you some from here. We're going to make sure that you're able to do this. Bonus, locating wills and information. This is very important for just the foreclosure. We want to make sure that you have access. Also, bonus, understanding federal liens. You want to see if this property have any federal liens as well. And the bankruptcy, what to expect when someone files bankruptcy. You also get a free membership with this, study hall access, and links to know. Now we're just going to get into one more because we do have actually 3 more. Okay, I'm under counting the seminars. We do have a pre-title search as well. There's a lot of key elements that we talk about with the soft title search. We also want you guys to be able to read the actual deed, looking for issues so you don't get involved in deeds that you have to fix. Okay. So we have the trust seminars, and this is people who want to go into asset protection, other ways to divvy in their money up. What is a trust? We have different type of trust here. So trust, key concepts and elements. Living trust, what is it? Advantages and disadvantages of trust. What is the role of a trustee? The power of a trust, part 1. Funding and unfunding the trust. Concepts of knowing about business trust. The power of trust. Is trust tax exempt? We talk about taxes a little bit. Trust in U.S. tax basics, part A and B. We go into it a little bit detail because we want you guys to know that it is a tax that is created when you have a trust. We don't want people to think that you have a trust and there's no taxes. That's ridiculous and that's a lie. Practical steps in setting up a living trust. So that's the last part of that. And we also have our deed seminar, and that's specifically for people who want to buy deeds. And this can apply to you going to the foreclosure process, the foreclosure sale. As we just explained to you, those things are kind of interchangeable, but there's a different amount you start at. But you want to talk to specialists if you have any questions. But we have all or more information that you need right here to make sure you ask the right questions. Okay. So just going into some of the details of the seminar before we get off of this live tonight. It is intro to investing in tax deeds. The tax deed sales need to know. Preparing for the deed sale and purchasing. Deeds, keys to the trade. County process of auction deeds. Now, the reason why we do that is very detailed approach of what the county do for it to turn into a deed. Because if anything's missing there, you will reap the repercussions of that. Finding a copy of your property deed, very important. Issues with deeds need to know. What is a quit claim deed? What is a warranty deed? What is a release of lien? Importance of land surveys, reviews, review of deed documents and notification post deed purchases. We have all of that and more. With this deed program, you will get membership as well as access to the study hall and links to know. So I wanted just to show you that we're not even going to get into just giving you a sneak peek of the program because there's so much for us to share with you. Obviously, this is a no joke program. You guys that take this program, I appreciate you who are there with us. Let me see something. Did I go in? Why can't I see my oh, let's see. Look, y'all. Let me see. Wow, overbook challenges in description. I'm trying to find a section with all our students in it. All right. I think this is the blog page. You'll be able to see the blog. You can blog. I haven't made any comments on the blog. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to figure out where my students at. I don't know if you have the access to the study hall here, or did they activate it? So these are some things that you'll be going through. I know I've been here for a little bit, but I wanted to play around with this, show you guys what we have to offer. Also, I'm trying to see the public profile. Bear with me, y'all. I was just trying to see. Oh, look at that. We got some new sections. They've been adding new sections. Let me see. What did it say? My subscriptions. We have our team adding new sections to here, just me as well. But we're gonna play around, show you a little bit more. We got some more to show you. I'm trying to see where's all our students at, where the student page at, having all the issues. This is our blog. This is our blog page. So you can check it out here, guys. We got a lot to share with you. Let me see. It's our study hall section. And this member doesn't have access to study hall. We'll make sure that they get there. I done locked her out of everything. That's my account. This is my dummy account. Anyway, so I want to say thank you, guys. I've been up here for a little while. I think I've been up here for like an hour and 20 minutes. I just wanted to show you some of the updates on Primetime Home Buyers. Let you guys know that it is a real tax lien school, investment school. We're going to learn a lot of information that you will never learn in a conventional school because, yes, Nurse Lashley is OCD. So if I want to learn it, I want you guys to learn it. If it brought me success, I hope that it bring you success. So I want to say thank you for being with me this Monday. I know I've been on for like an hour and a half. We went into 3 segments, which was the first one, buy or sell. Second, what is your buy and sell options? And 3, we did a review of Primetime Home Buyers, the platform, so you guys kind of get an introduction to it. We're going to do a full live focusing on it. I want to say thank you so much for being with me tonight. You have been amazing. We're going to see you on Friday. We're going to be getting into Oregon deed state. Oregon deed state, how to invest in Oregon tax deed state. And we have many more topics for you coming up this summer.
The real estate market often seems like a distant world where only an elite of experts is successful. In a time of so much uncertainty in the air and bad news, realist investing can seem intimidating. But today, I want to tell you that if you make the right decision today, you can enter the real estate market from the back door. Bad credit record? No credit at all? Do you dread the idea of having a home loan? Do you dream of owning investment properties? You are in the right place and right time, because we have created a program which is a tax lien and deed investment online course of only 14 hours. This course is specially designed for people like you who have big dreams. You will learn at your own pace and everything from your home computer. This is your chance. Join our membership for $19.99 a year. What are you waiting for? Visit our website primetimehomebuyerBuyback.org and sign up today for course access.